Here we have Dr. Radhika PMP. Suffix and prefix, both. Okay. This is really a great achievement from her, having a professional life very tightly packed, personal
Yes.
life, and all are as I said, suffix and prefix. In family also we have suffix, prefix, everything you have to balance it. So congratulations for your great
Thank you.
achievement. Yeah, it's a great effort from you and good wishes from ShriLearning and team. It'll be so nice to listen from you on your journey. Of course, not everybody has a richness of time with us. We always have a time constraint. We
Yeah.
always have a pressure of work and family. If you give some inputs, how you managed it, that to being a women leader, I
Yeah.
shouldn't discriminate like men and women here, but still I would tell that certain factors are there. Being a mom, you have to take care of certain factors.
Yes.
How do you manage it? It can help many people in the society, right? So back to you,
Yeah.
Radhika.
No, the day one when it was my objective that PMP should be cleared by so and so timeline. I have to think like the workload that we have is so packed, and then morning you leave and then go back. You have your own journey, and as a woman, you will have more challenges even at house and as well. So I have to think like this is really not possible. It's something which is not achievable. Trust me, at least 10 to 15 times before even taking PMP, I browsed. Is PMP exam easy? Is it one? Can we pass it at first attempt? These are the two things. Even now, I just browse my history. Every time I used to browse that. Is PMP easy to clear in one shot? What is the pass percentage? How tough is the exam? I started my journey with these three questions. And then I used to look for tutorials here and there. Then finally, my objective is objective. You have to clear. Then I started looking for, and then lucky or fortunately, we met in the same campus. And then I started taking tutorials. And so day one, I felt like, okay, you started with the basic examples and things. I felt like, okay, it's not that tough as the way they mentioned in the browser and in Google. Then that tuitions made me so intensive study oriented. Like by the weekend, we used to have your 2 chapters completed side by side. I used to study so that I can have some basic understanding of what you will teach in the class. And every time you used to give the simple examples which made us connect and interlink. Then I felt, okay, it's not that tough as the PMBOK looks. At least it's easy and concept can be understandable. And then the Sriram's style of explanation, it doesn't make it like a Oxford or some Harvard University kind of book. He explains in the simple, basic, understandable, so that last bench students can also say that, okay, we are able to understand. So that was the first important thing. Means you should not get scared from the topic as such. So that made me feel a bit lighter and understand that, okay, it's doable. Then all that 13 chapters was done parallelly when I had the tuitions. After that, I used to think like now Sriram tuition is done. He has helped us whatever he can do. Now how is the journey starts? So then day one, I was like, it's okay, tuitions are done, I can take some time. But when I started seeing congratulations on the WhatsApp, I used to think like, man, these guys are passing. It's not just tuition. Now I have to take my exams. This is the first thing. That WhatsApp started motivating me. Like, okay, it's not just tuitions are done. You can sit and relax. Next, you have to see your image there. Then you have to do something for that. So start studying. Then came Rahul's study material, where he gave that 50 days, 70 days. I has to open that, see, okay, this is my deadline, either 50 days or 75 days. You choose what you want. I thought, okay, let me consider myself as a slow learner, not that top student kind of category. Then I selected that 70 days plan and started going methodically step by step. Then I understood that you will surely not get time on your own for sure, where you have your office work, where you have your kids to study or something like this, along with your cooking, whatever stuffs that is personally, purely personal. Then I used to make my tight packed study time, like morning 4 o'clock. I used to keep my alarm. Day one, day two, that lag will always be there. Where I used to switch off my alarm. It's okay, tomorrow I can complete. That
Did
2 days it used to be there.
you say 4 o'clock? Sure.
Yes, yes. 4 o'clock, because 7 o'clock I used to have my office cab.
Four is a midnight, huh?
Early morning for me. So 4 o'clock, my alarm used to ring, and then I used to say, it's okay, one day I can have some more sleep, turn it off and sleep for day one. Day two, I did that. Third day, then 76 days started. That always you'll have that in your mind. Okay, 76 days in that I lost 2 days. Now at least focus, Radhika, it's too much. Then again, that alarm has to ring, and then I has to get up, go, focus on that. There's one line which I always like: if you want to do something, the entire universe supports you. So this is really, really true that I really imbibe after clearing this PMP. Daily I used to say that I should clear PMP on 76th day, on 76th day. So every day I used to tell that, and then started revising. Started with Rita, then wherever Rita I used to find complex, then I used to go refer to head first, come back. So I did this 2 times revision thoroughly with Rita. Then wherever I used to stuck and then the marks were not so great, then I used to ping Shriram. Shriram, stakeholder score is going down, what should I do? He used to tell that, read thoroughly, try to understand where they are, try to do more and more questions you'll be able to do. Trust me, it used to help. So then the prepcast study I started, chapter-wise, minimum 150 questions per chapter. So this was a mandate protocol that I followed. So practiced as much as questions possible, then started taking mock exams. But when I started taking mock exams, I understood that I've used most of the question papers or the questions in the chapter wise itself. So I used to doubt that, is my really score crossing 70, or is it because I've already practiced chapter wise? Then I started taking Udemy test papers just to cross check if my concept is clear or should I have to do something more. And then my first Udemy mock exam score was 56. I thought like I have only left with 15 days. My score is 56. In Prepcast, I'm still scoring 70, 75. How is it? Then I started understanding the even more gaps where, especially the tools and technologies that I use, ITTOs and other things. And I started correlating. I found that there's a gap in which I could fill in 15 days. Did one basic overview of the PMBOK. Means I used to go to the important chapters like stakeholder and then the communication, how they are interlinked, and then risk, how is it handled, quality, how is it maintained, and what are the tools that is frequently used. And then reading that line by line, even the questions, the keywords, I used to miss the keywords more often. And then especially the questions like, what do you do? And what is the first thing you do? So I was not able to differentiate that. And I used to miss on those questions and not able to understand the answers for it. So thorough practice somehow made me understand that it's doable. And then I started with the center-based exam. And then finally there was a shock. Bangalore, there was a lockdown and my exam got postponed for a week. So that added more pressure on me. Then I opted for home-based. Trust me, that day, I don't know. You usually say, you say bad day, right? That was my bad day. The exam started at 8. I was supposed to wind up at 12, exactly 10:30 after my break. Now the video paused and then I was out of exam for 45 minutes. So Proctor is continuously calling me, telling that your video is paused, your exam will be relaunched. I was praying that relaunch means hope it is not some other day they want to relaunch. Then he called me, note, we will relaunch, but it is like after some time. But when he relaunched, I had lost 15 to 20 minutes there. That added more pressure on me, thinking like, okay, first half is done. Second half I still have. It was neck to neck time for me. I am left with 60 questions, 60 minutes to complete. So this was my condition there. I used to, somehow first half I found it to be difficult and I felt I don't know the answers correctly. Second half was more like a one-line questions where I was able to read and gauge the correct answer immediately. So somehow with that I managed. Even after that clearing out of 60, 40 questions I completed, again my video paused. Though I had a good internet backup, modem, everything was in place. And then I even purchased a new laptop just because I wanted to ensure that I don't have a office laptop firewall issues. Even after being so cautious, listening to all the people who have taken from home, preparing myself, I did have a real bad day on my exam. And then 40th questions were completed. Again, the video paused. Again, it was relaunched. Every time he was relaunching my exam, I was supposed to show the entire room at the cost of my exam timings. So there was no separate timings given. So every time show the entire room, again sit and start entering. 200 questions completed, left with 30 seconds. I didn't even press the button. I just kept silent like this. I thought, it's okay, exam will end on its own. And then I just saw for the 5 seconds that congratulations. And I couldn't believe, then again it took me to the survey immediately. So I told everyone in the family that I cleared. They were like, come on, when we can't see, how come that you're telling that you cleared?
See, the God will come only 5 seconds and go.
Exactly. It just showed that congratulations and then 2-3 business days. That's it. After that, that line completely vanished, where I was not able to see whether I've cleared it or not. Then I did call you immediately, Shriram. It said this, but I can't see the score anywhere. Could you please help me out? So Shriram was the second god for us. Like, how do we help us out now? Then he told, calm down, relax. If you've seen congratulations, it means you're passed. In that span of 5 minutes, I did even call my group mates who had cleared that. I asked them, like, what did you see after ending the exam? Did you see congratulations? Then he told, yes, we saw congratulations. I even called people who didn't clear and asked them, like, what did you see when did you end the exam?
Oh, okay.
Just cross-checking that, did I really pass? Then after 2 hours or 3 hours, the scorecard was seen in Pearson. That gave me a confidence that I cleared it. But still, at times you say that you have hallucination, right? At exam day, I many times felt that I was in this mode.
It was not an easy day for you, I remember.
No.
Because,
it was not easy day.
In fact, I think it was your leadership testing day. How much you are good in handling your emotional intelligence. It was lively tested there.
Yes, it was my batchmates who helped me out. So a couple of guys who are cleared, they used to tell that even if you are thrown out of exam in between, just calm, relax, don't get tensed. It's okay, you will be given time. Every time the proctor used to tell, don't worry, we'll create a case for you. I used to think case means is my exam taking forward, or it means that you failed, you can still take once more. So this always used to linger in my mind, like what exactly does it mean that you want to create a case? So then I used to tell everybody, go for a center based, don't have this juggling in between. It's not.
So now lockdown is open, people can go for center.
Yes.
But some are people who are far away from center. For some people in
if
Saudi
there are no
Arabia,
option at all,
then it's in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, somewhere they are where they don't have a center at all very close to them. So for them it's fine. But some situation I know, at home it's not really close.
And that emotionally you will have the tights on the day of exam where you know that you are prepared from past 2.5 months, and then you have only 4 hours to really check how is it. And then this tights of like ups and downs.
I remember your emotional voice when you called me. Shriram,
it was shaky. It was so shaky. I was like, Shriram, did I really pass? I just saw the word congratulations, nothing beyond this, and I couldn't even record it because I don't think we can even afford to do that.
Thank God we didn't do that. We shouldn't do that. And I'm hearing kind of voice for last 3-4 years. Everybody, once they pass, they call me. The voice will not come.
Exactly.
But your voice is with the problem. Shriram 2 times went down.
Seriously, I started with like what is happening, and then every time the pain point was like checking the room again and again, where at the cost of my own time. So we used to say, could you please show me the entire room once more? Then again,
it's a policy we have to follow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
All tough. I really feel that you handled the situation really well. I'm not sure how many of them would have handled. Somebody would have got emotional, lost the balance. They lose a hope, telling them anyway, exam gone. Let me click next, close the exam.
Yes.
Rather, you played it. I feel some sort of great leadership skill you showed there. I sometimes feel some cricket captains, we see the ground where the pressure happens, they stay cool, telling that's okay, it's happening. Let's be on the presence of mind. I feel you have that ability with you. So you deserve that, Dr. Radhika.
No, it was my batchmates credit as well, because I used to ask them after them clearing the exam. I used to ask them like, how was it? How did you handle? They used to tell them that it's okay. First half will be grilling. Be prepared for it. And I used to hate math. I always used to tell Shriram, is it really necessary for me to practice the formulas? I used to tell, don't worry much. Just focus on simple formulas. And you won't believe, my first question started with the formula-based question. No, I thought like everyone used to say I got only 1 math question, 2 math question. I really had 8 to 9 math question, but trust me, though I ate math, I was able to solve it. It was simple mathematical question. Your word was true. You always used to tell no need to be an algebra expert here or a trigonometry expert here. All you need is a basic simple mathematical formula. All I had was that. If I can solve those math problems, trust me, anyone can solve, because I used to hate math like anything. something, that questions I used to always skip it to the end.
I think that day is specifically set for you.
It was. That's what I told you. If there is a word called as bad day, I had it in my exam, PMP
But
day,
now you can't
most
call it as bad
memorable.
day. Now you can't call it as a bad day because
Yes.
that's a memorable day in your life now.
Yeah, and what I couldn't believe was I was at time I didn't even get a chance to review whether I've written it correctly or I was chosen the right answer. I always used to think like, let me revise in the end 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It was in such a way that I just clicked understanding that and then started going. When I saw that above target, I used to think like, okay, I've grinded myself well and now I can see the results out of it.
I remember it. When the moment you called, I felt, okay, your throat should be dry. Go drink some water, take 15 minutes rest and come back. Meantime, we see the scores. Okay, well,
Yes,
good job, good job.
exam started at 8. It was supposed to end at 12, but my
Oh,
exam ended at 2:45. It
it's not.
ended at 2:45. It was a lengthy day. I was not supposed to go out of the room. I was not even, I was worried whether I can take a break or come back. What should I do? Because he's continuously calling me and then relaunching the exam. And in between,
Continuous.
proctors changed 4 times. In between, the proctors changed 4 times. And every time I was supposed to tell them that this is what happened. My time is just getting done. Can you please check? Can you please check? Then I stopped worrying about it because there's no point because they'll not add extra time there. Just I forgot about it and started focusing on the questions continuously instead of thinking about time anymore.
It's a big day. I can see it's
Yeah,
a big day. Great. But anyway, you did a good job.
thank
Congratulations
you.
again. Give some idea about in the sense of you said 4 o'clock you wake up and read. So how many hours consistently you were able to put?
Okay, so on a daily basis, it's a must and should, Sriram. So there's no gain without a pain. So
Uh,
that's what I see that, and I strongly believed in that.
right.
It's not just that you start your journey and you feel that no, it can happen anyway. PMP is not that where you can just give a try or like I will give a try. It's not just a try. You have to put your hard work.
Efforts.
That hard work is only which can take you,
Mm.
especially to clear PMP. There's nothing where you can memorize here. I tried memorizing. I'm good at memorizing things. Trust me, I failed in this PMP where I can't memorize things because it's not something which checks how we have memorized. It
Right.
is asking most of the situational questions. And
Concept.
then, yes, more of conceptual. And then weekends, I used to ensure that I take one mock exam every weekend. After my 2 revisions, it was a mandate practice for me. Daily revise for 2 hours so that you go chapter by chapter. And then on a weekend, one mock exam on Saturday. Like, I still remember the timing. Saturday 1:30, I used to sit for mock exam, wind up at 5:30.
Ah,
Sunday same afternoon 1:30, I used to sit, revise all those questions,
okay.
and then prepare for the next week. Wherever there's a gap, then go to the textbook like Rita or else Pembroke, revise once, and then come back. So I used to do this routinely without fail till my exam and writing 49 processes without fail. While on the way to office or even while cooking or else when I'm doing some work, I used to keep my YouTube videos on, like basic things like quality
Understand.
management
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all those things where I used to keep listening to that. And then I used to post the post-its on my wall and other places where I used to,
Perfect.
especially the concepts like change management, the particular flow, how does it go, what is the pattern of it, and types of risks and categorization, which is easily you can forget things. I used to just make it as a post-its everywhere so that I can see every now and then
Very
and
good.
I don't forget it soon. And my study materials was all around. Like I used to keep all the study material very close to my place so that whenever I take a break, just revise, just have a basic
Perfect.
revision. Yeah. So this I used to do and keep writing 49 processes every now and then. While traveling, even while sitting just idle for 5-10 minutes, I used to scribble. I used to scribble, just write like stakeholder means ST, quality means QR, just like this. No need to have a lengthy big paper as such.
Short
Start
code words.
scribbling.
Code words.
Exactly, code words, code
Mm.
words for those processes. So
Mm.
this I used to routinely do, and then
Great.
that really helped me. Mock exams score first 2 times, trust me, it demotivated me.
Uh-huh.
56 was my first score. Then I started getting 65, 66. And then third, fourth, fifth mock exams, I was able to get good
Yeah.
score. But
Stay.
trust me, my maximum score that I got was 76% in prepcast. This was my
That's a good
highest
score.
score.
That's a good score.
This was the highest score that I could get. And I used to ask them, if will I fail if I get 76% in prepcast or Udemy or some other question papers? But I think if you have understood the concept, you can clear. I didn't stress myself on ITTOs much. because it was something which I couldn't remember for long, especially inputs and outputs. But when I just used to think for that particular process, for example, quality means what and all is required for that particular activity, quantitative, qualitative, what is required. I just think for only that process, that I found it to be easy than memorizing all the process at a time, thinking of inputs and outputs. So I didn't worry on that. Formulas, I was always away. I was always the last bench person for the formulas. I only remember the simple CPI, SPI, SV, and CV, not more than
enough.
that.
That's
Yes,
more than enough.
yes.
Hey, by the way, thanks for the lot of inputs. How do you see this is going to help you in your corporate life in managing things?
It has really helped me, Shriram, post after taking, because I am handling the RPA projects here in my office. So when I started my journey and started looking into it, I found that stakeholder management and communication to be very strongly required when you handle the projects, especially who should know, when should know, and what you should communicate, at what frequency, and how do you engage them. And kickoff meeting was just a basic kickoff meeting when we started. But I understood that it's not just the basic information. There are certain prerequisites before you have a kickoff. Signing off on certain things, freezing the scope is for something which I learned with this, because otherwise your project keeps dragging and you have no boundaries for it. So these are some things which I learned from PMBOK. Scope creep, this I used to write in my mails. This word I started using, like, this is purely a scope creep. And this is, and to my team members, I used to say, this is purely a gold plating, don't do that. And then I used to use the word.
The moment you write in the mail, somebody will scroll and see whose signature, it will say Dr. Radhika PMP. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I used to tell to my team members, then I used to say proper change control management in place, no change control without informing all the stakeholders, including internal. So these are the things which even my team used to look into it. And checklist.
Super.
All my cubicles have checklists now. I used to say that it's hard to remember everything, but have a checklist so that you don't miss any steps in between. I think these are the things which I learned from PMBOK. And then it is really helping me out. And when you see that PMP, though you know it formally or informally, we usually learn on job. But I see that the value of what PMP certified gets and just the on-job what you learn, there's a difference. Because I've seen both the sides. From past 2 years, me working as a project manager for various projects, and after getting the PMP, what the way people or you perceive your perfection comes is there's a difference. It's not that I've learned everything, but it did really help me to understand what exactly a project manager role is, how should you do, and then get the projects done on time, not just by following up, but how do you manage end to end. There's something, it really helped me by achieving PMP.
Perfect, perfect, Radhika. You are a rock star now. Huh? I know you are LinkedIn.
Thanks to you.
Pretty busy.
Yeah.
I can see your post is running crazy. It's going crazy, right? A lot of likes and good wishes, and that's pretty good, pretty good. Great job, great job. And I like the way you are implementing it. That's very important.
Yes.
So we learn it for the exam purpose. Sometimes when you implement it, it stay with you for a long time.
Yeah.
Great effort. Good, Radhika. Thanks a lot, and thanks for coming in a busy schedule.
Thank you.
Your inputs, and we are so delighted to see winners coming up, spending some time, telling some story. Hey, this is the way to walk, right? That's very important. Thanks for giving it back. Once again, congratulations for your grand success. So, Dr. Radhika PMP, shine more, let more suffix and prefix get added.
And thanks to you, Shriram, I think this journey wouldn't have been possible until you made that concept simple, because most of us get scared just because of the complexity of the subject. So I think thanks to you and Rahul as well for being behind us with the study plan. The study plan, still I have it as a memory, just to understand that 76 days, you have to finish it. You remember, I used to tell one line, we never force anybody to take the exam. After tuitions, we ask them to choose it. That is what really happened. I used to think, like, how will I gain confidence after tuition that I should take an exam? But trust me, it will happen, just that you should be in that swing that I should complete it.
Right, true. Now we are grown up adult where forcing will not work. The days are gone. Where we have our own commitment. We have to step up and do it.
Correct.
And I think you took a right choice, and you deserve every inch of the success. Keep rocking.
Thank you.
We'll catch up soon. Another big success.
Bye.